So we'll make some remarks, and then I'll translate some in Spanish. So if you will give us, be patient with us. All right. Adrian Garcia, County Commissioner of Precinct 2. Let me make a quick introduction of some of the people that are here with us. We are joined by Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. Members of his team are here as well. We are joined by Dr. Latrice Babin, who is the director of the Harris County Pollution Control Office. And we're joined by Chief Shaw and Chief Weston with the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. And then we also have Ann Brewster with the County Judge's Office. Where is that? There you go. So everything right now that I'm about to share with you is still preliminary information. An investigation has yet to be completed, and everything is in progress as we speak. The details of the event as they occurred and as we understand them at this moment is that at 12:11, a BLEVE was reported, which is a type of an explosion involving a over-the-road tanker truck, not any rail cars. The chemical that was in that tanker is reported to be liquid petroleum gas, and it was being transferred from one tanker to another. As a result of that process, we don't know exactly what did not happen right, but as we know, an explosion occurred, a BLEVE occurred, and numerous 911 calls came into the Harris County Sheriff's Office. As a precaution, the Harris County Toll Road was shut down, as well as 225 were both temporarily shut down as a precaution. They are both now, as you can tell, fully operational. As a result of the response and the reporting by numerous agencies that are under the umbrella of SEMA, which effectively creates an industry unified command structure. Everybody from the Pasadena Police Department, the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office, industry responders, everyone comes under that particular unified command, and that is how we work together under these circumstances. I do want to say that when I received information about this explosion, I was in immediate contact with Mayor Jeff Wagner of the city of Pasadena, who was communicating information to me, along with communicating with Mayor Mouton, Jerry Mouton, out of the city of Deer Park, because at that time we were not sure whether it was the city of Deer Park that it was taking place in or the city of Pasadena, and ultimately it is under the Harris County jurisdiction, Harris County Sheriff's Office, as well as the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. Dr. Babin can provide more details in a minute, but her office is, they are conducting air monitoring on this side closest to the incident, as well as across the waterway, to ensure that there is nothing that's being detected that we should be aware of or concerned about. All staff on the industry connected to Enos, who is the primary entity that is responsible for this event, all staff is fully accounted for. There is one person that has been hospitalized and is currently reported to be in stable condition, and we're very grateful for that. I did have the opportunity to meet the truck driver and someone else who was immediately involved in this situation. They're well. We're excited about that, and we're keeping that one person in the hospital in our thoughts and prayers, and hopeful for full recovery. And what initially was the alert response was an Enos internal alert system that was activated, and then at some point, and we'll find out later, 911 calls were also communicated and connected, and it created the response that you see. I just want to say that from the time I became aware to the time I arrived here, every apparatus that you see here was already here. I'm very impressed with the response by everyone involved and very grateful. And this is why we should be very, very appreciative of our first responders. They run to these events that most of us will run from, but we're grateful for every one of their responses. So at this time, I'm going to ask Sheriff Gonzalez to share a few words, and then we'll ask Dr. Babin to share a few words.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just to reiterate, at this point, there are no known impacts to the community at large. The doctor will be speaking to that further. They're going to be monitoring the air, but so far there are no reported impacts to the community. I think that's important to note. And just, again, want to give a shout out to our response team that is here. We have a dedicated industrial team led by both Deputies Brown and Kimball that are right here to my left. They do a phenomenal job. Captain Douglas is here on the scene. Major Saul Suarez is here as well, and Sergeant Carrizales. They all responded as well, primarily to be support to whatever the fire marshals and the Unified Command may need, primarily to set perimeter, shut roadways down. Again, it's a seamless effort that needs to occur with a situation like this to try to mitigate any impacts. And should anything have expanded beyond that, we would have been able to scale resources and take whatever actions were needed at that point. So again, just very, very happy that they're in place. And this was established many years ago. Sheriff Garcia was still here when all that was established. So we're just very happy to have their skill set and expertise on hand to be on the ground monitoring what's happening. Thank you very much.
Good deal. Thank you, Sheriff. Briefly in Spanish. Estamos aquí para...
I got it. That way. Oh, sorry. Ahí, eso. Gracias. Para que... Ahí. Si no lo... Ahí.
All right.
Dale.
Briefly in Spanish. Estamos aquí para reportar que a las 12:11 tuvimos un reporte que comenzó dentro de la planta de Inos, que hubo una forma de explosión. Al momento sabemos que todos los elementos de esta industria están cuentados. Solo hay una persona que ha tenido que ir al hospital, pero sabemos que están en una condición estable. Todos los elementos que ven aquí, todas las agencias, son parte de la respuesta de emergencia cuando suceden esos eventos. Y sabemos que todos trabajan bajo un comando unido para asegurar que la comunicación, la coordinación está buena y bien coordinado. Tenemos aquí representantes del Departamento de Bomberos del Condado, la Policía de Pasadena, obviamente el alguacil González y su departamento. Tenemos un representante de la oficina de la jueza Lina Hidalgo, y tenemos aquí la doctora Latrice Babin del Departamento de Control de Contaminación, la cual está haciendo su investigación, asegurando que no hay algo de químico en el aire. Está monitorando el incidente de ese lado, igual del otro lado del agua, para asegurar máximo investigación de nuestro medio ambiente. De lo que sabemos, no hay ningún impacto a lo alrededor de esta área. La carretera del toll road estuvo cerrada. La carretera 225 también estuvo cerrada temporalmente. Obviamente, como vemos, ya están completamente abiertos y operando normalmente. Ya después que se activó el sistema de alerta dentro de la planta de Inos, eso llegó también a causar que algunas llamadas al departamento del alguacil de 911 sucedieron por parte de varias personas que estaban viendo la explosión, el incendio, y lo estaban reportando. Pero nuevamente en varias agencias que respondieron. La industria tiene su forma de responder internamente entre las plantas, pero también los bomberos de la ciudad de Houston también llevaron llegaron a prestar apoyo y equipo y personal para ayudar en este incidente. Y nuevamente, todo de lo que estamos compartiendo al momento es información preliminar, porque el departamento de los bomberos del condado va a ser la agencia principal de hacer su investigación de lo que sucedió y vamos a aprender más. Pero de lo que sabemos es que una troca, un camión, no tren, estaba transportando un gas, un líquido, petróleo líquido, petróleo, gas líquido, ustedes saben cómo traducirlo, y lo estaban transferando a otro tanker, y de allí algo sucedió. No sabemos al momento lo que sucedió, pero obviamente allí es cuando comenzó el incidente, y nuevamente estamos muy agradecidos que nadie perdió vida, solo tenemos una persona en el hospital bajo la condición estable. Entonces todo ahorita es preliminar y vamos a prestar más información ya después que la investigación se llega a completar. Con eso voy a pedir a Dr. Babin a compartir unas palabras. Dr. Babin.
Thank you, Commissioner. Briefly, I just want to address the fact that we did do monitoring in the area north of the fire. In Chetwynview, we have units stationed out there to do monitoring. As of this time, there are not any detections, and we're not expecting there to be any. Fortunately, we have good wind blowing that's dispersing whatever was up high and aloof in the flame, in the fire, the smoke. So we are not expecting there to be any impact. However, if you have any questions about anything and you are concerned, please make sure that you go and check with your physicians. But if you have any concern about the fire itself or any of the detections, please check the map on Harris County Pollution Control's website so that you can see what the detections are that may be in the area just north in Chandlerview or south of the 225 freeway. Thank you.
Can you give us your first and last name?
I am Dr. Latrice Babin. I am the Executive Director of Harris County Pollution Control Services Department.
Can you spell your first and last?
Latrice, Latrice, Babin, Babin. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Babin. At this time, I'm going to ask Chief Shaw to share some words. Again, the Harris County Fire Marshal is part of the response, but in this circumstance, they are the lead agency to conduct the investigation. Chief Shaw.
Thank you, Commissioner. So we are going to be conducting an investigation. We are going to be conducting an investigation into this incident. We have not been able to make it inside the plant as of yet. This is still an active scene. Even though we don't see the fire and smoke still, it's still a very active scene. We would like to share again that there is no off-site impact that we're aware of, and as soon as we're able to make it inside, we will conduct an investigation.
I'll ask Chief Shaw.
So at this time, we really don't know. Anytime you have a transfer of chemical like that, if there's any type of vapor, it can find an ignition source anywhere. So that's going to be part of our investigation.
When you're transferring chemicals, is that done through a pipeline? Is that done through hose?
It's usually done through hose.
And it's like one tanker truck. I'm just trying to picture what it looks like. So it's like two regular tanker trucks.
No, so it's a tanker truck, and they connect into a rack system, and then that rack system then carries the product to wherever it's going, whether it be to another tank, to a holding tank, to a rail car, or wherever.
And in this instance, it was going to its tank. Correct?
Yes, yes.
In a tank, meaning that not another vehicle, it was a tank on the ground. Storage container.
Correct. It's a storage tank. Yes.
So this was outside, just to be clear.
Yes, it was outside. Yes.
Very good. We are still waiting for a representative from the company, from Enos. We're hopeful that they'll be able to be here and answer any questions that you may have. But you've got the sheriff. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I did a quick search on a levee. It looks as though the liquid, I guess in this case it's the petroleum, overheated somehow and caused the combustion. How do you guys know that it's a levee? Like it's that type of explosion?
I'll tell you. I'll ask. We got experts here today.
Mitchell West, I'm Chief Investigator at the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. Blevy is a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. So when you have a liquid petroleum or a liquid propane inside of a tank, the fire that occurred outside can heat the tank to the point that the liquid inside is boiling, and the pressure is so great that it overcomes the release mechanisms or safety valves, and then the container holding it explodes.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say.
Exactly. My words, precisely. Lo que estaba explicando es que el término que estamos usando es Blevy, la cual es que cuando un incidente como tal llega a pasar, llega a calentar el líquido tanto que llega a explotar y llega a faltar de usar las válvulas que normalmente llega a usar, por eso causa una explosión. Entonces, el Blevy es una forma de explosión.
Ajá, pero hay que aclarar un poquito para la gente que no está escuchando. El líquido que era, usted dijo gas, pero ahí es petróleo.
No, lo que dije anteriormente es que en inglés, liquid petroleum gas. Entonces, petróleo, líquido, gas. I do not have any information on that person unless we know the person's identity. We don't have that information. Stable basically means, from what I've been told, injuries, of course, but in good condition, alert, and communicating.
Yeah, he was in fair condition, basically, and stable, but he was conscious. He was alert, and so he's still being tended to. We don't know how extensive that is, but it doesn't appear anything life-threatening.
Was he burned?
We don't know.
I don't know, but we were told there may be some burns.
Was
But
an employee?
Avinos.
Was he part of the process that went awry, or was he?
Don't know. The investigation will determine that.
and just to be clear too, are we clear if he was an employee of Enos or maybe a contractor we don't know that exactly. That'll be part of what's investigated here.
So can we, if this is the only person that was injured, but how many more were involved in this transferring from this place to the tank?
The investigation will further determine that. So we don't know. We don't have that information at the moment.
Can you talk a little bit about the logistics of putting out the fire? How many crews were there? What kind of tools were used?
The logistics
The
of putting out
logistics
the
of
fire.
putting out that fire.
I'm sorry.
The logistics of putting out that fire. It
Oh.
basically burned itself out.
Yeah, so the object is to, as long as it's burning, you want it to allow to burn, right? Because you don't want that vapor to continue to expand and then find an ignition source outside of the plant. So what they did was they cooled around the area until the product was burned completely off.
Very good. Any other questions?
Any chance of anything reigniting or consider?
Right now, I'm told that it is all in the cool down phase, and so we're very grateful for that. All right, thank y'all very much. If anyone wants to have any one-on-ones with anyone here, please feel free.